So we are in North Carolina and visiting family, and of course I brought two film cameras, the Leica M6 and the Olympus Mini. But why did I bring two 35mm lenses, which is a little silly to bring two cameras with the same focal length that I'm putting the same film in, but I guess it'll be interesting to see how they compare, and I don't know, they have very different mindsets, but it'll be fun. So let's stop there. Why did I bring two cameras with the same focal length that I was putting the same film in on this trip? Honestly, it was mostly for form factor. Just because I wanted one camera that was very much designed to always have on my person, always have with me, because it's a family vacation. I wanted to be able to be taking photos. I wanted to be able to be making memories, documenting those little things along the way of the trip. And so that's what the Olympus was for. And then I wanted one that was a little bit more, at least for like, in my mind, felt like it was more there to create art. And definitely there were moments where I knew there'd be less light, but I didn't want to use the flash, and so having the 1.4 aperture would be able to do there, or if I wanted separation and stuff like that. So as I went on this trip, it was definitely, those were kind of like the two places, or at least the two ways that I wanted my brain to work. So that when I was making photos just to have fun, that's what the Olympus was for. And I was making photos that were supposed to feel a little bit more arty, that's what the Leica was for. Just because, I don't know, you feel fancy holding a Leica, and so I did. Lena and Erica had gone a couple days earlier, and so I got there a little bit later than them, and therefore they had enjoyed time in Durham, which is where my family, my in-laws lives, and so we headed out together. We all went to the town of Boone, which definitely was interesting. This is the first time I'd been to like another town really in the COVID times, and there definitely was a lot of trepidation just because of traveling, and we're from the Northwest, which is maybe more COVID hype aware or COVID sensitive than other parts of the country. And so anytime to be out and just be like, oh, nobody else is treating this in the same way, was a very interesting experience. But it's fun to be in the town. And then once we were in Boone, we went out into the ski towns, which was really fun and gave us like a chance to run around and be in the hills. And I literally went running in a rainstorm, which was super fun. Went up the top of the ski hill, which was really fun just for our family to get up there and to enjoy the view. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have found the photo of the year. This is going to be super cool. You guys got to come check this out, because it was crazy because you could drive all the way to the top of the ski hill there. And then as we were leaving, we were going to head back to Durham. My brother and sister-in-law took us through this other spot that they'd found that was so much better. And I was like, oh, well, all right, you guys are better scouters for like cool photography places than we are. So then on our way back, just going through the towns, going to like these kind of random places, enjoying the view and Blue Ridge Mountains, I think. I wish I'd done a better job noting where all these photos were taken and stuff like that. But it's such a different landscape, and it was always so fun to go and to take photos. And when we again got caught in a rainstorm, a lot of rain on this one. So, but it was fun to see, and again, it was really interesting to have the two cameras out there. To have one that was always in my pocket, really easy, just like pull it out, take a photo, pull it out, take a photo, and then one that was a little bit more designed for, like I said, for kind of those art things. But it also was just like a good chance to be practicing taking photos with this. Like I'm still, my Leica has spent more time in the shop since I bought it than in my hands, and so having any opportunity I have to like intentionally be taking photos with it is really nice, just because it gives me more practice getting used to the rangefinder viewfinder, getting used to the way that these lenses worked, seeing if I actually really like this lens at all, and kind of going from there. See it. Oh, Albie, don't pee in the car. See it. Then on our last day, right before we were about to head off, we went and hung out in a river, which was funny just because both of my brother and sister-in-law who live in there are from the Northwest, and they're used to our style of things, and one of those is that rivers are really cold here. And so they always sort of laugh. They're like, no, you don't understand. Like, the river water is really warm. And so even though it was like kind of a rainy day and not super warm, we went and played in a river, which was just like hilarious to like my Northwest sensibility. Anytime I see a body of water like that, I'm just like, I don't want to go stand in that. That looks freezing. But it wasn't. And then, unsurprisingly, it started to pour down rain, but it was just a fun time to be out. And again, to be taking photos with both cameras. The one that is most impressive to me is these portraits here of my brother-in-law and their dog, and that's the one I took with the Olympus. I think that those photos are fantastic. I love the way that the highlights on the sky, but it kind of pulled your eye looking down the river. Just as it got hazier, it created that kind of tunnel vision, or like hyperspace from Star Wars to view right into them, which gave really good leading lines to look at Kyle. But then it was also fun because I knew as I was running, really, I had like just a handful of photos left on each of the rolls, and we're going to the airport, so I was like, I don't want to put these photos through the scanners at the airport, so I might as well take the last few photos. And so just to get a chance to walk around the river there and to try to make a couple photos that felt very different, felt interesting, and trying to find a way to blend that mini story of the brown river water, the deep green leaves and trees, and then the rain. And I don't know, it was just fun. I don't know if I think that any of these photos are like out of this world. None of them are truly spectacular. but there's nothing quite like travel that gives you the joy of photo creating. And so it was really nice to have an opportunity to go and to get out of what I normally do and to use tools that I really like and to get back into it. And so, yeah, get vaccinated so we can get back to traveling. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you around.